I'm Sophie.
And I am Zach, and this is the 9th lesson, and welcome to class. For today's topic is health problems for General English B1.
მოგესალმებით. მე სოფო ვარ, ეს კი ზაკია. კეთილი იყოს თქვენი დაბრუნება ჩვენს ტელესკოლაში. დღევანდელი ჩვენი გაკვეთილის თემა იქნება ჯანმრთელობის პრობლემები. თქვენ უყურებთ ზოგად ინგლისურს დონე B1.
So for the agenda today, like always, we are going to start with the vocabulary and then roll right along to the reading comprehension. And in the middle, we have the grammar. And right after that, we have the summary. And lastly, the homework, our favorite part.
ვიდრე უშუალოდ გაკვეთილზე გადავიდოდეთ, ერთად გავეცნოთ დღევანდელი დღის გეგმას. დღევანდელი დღე, როგორც ყოველთვის, დაიწყება ლექსიკის შესწავლით. ამის შემდეგ ჩვენ წავიკითხავთ ტექსტს, ამის შემდეგ გვექნება გრამატიკული სავარჯიშოები, შემდეგ შევაჯამებთ გაკვეთილს და დავასრულებთ ყველასათვის საყვარელი საშინაო დავალებით. Zach, what do you do when you want to see the doctor? Is there any procedure that you follow?
Usually you have to have something wrong with you first.
Definitely.
And then you can either call them or write them an email telling them what's wrong. And eventually they will make an appointment for you. And you can go in and see them and do all the tests and everything you need to do to feel better.
Absolutely right.
And for our first section is, of course, the vocabulary section. And here are the vocabulary words for today's lesson.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ ლექსიკის ნაწილზე. თქვენს წინაშეა ის სიტყვები, რომლებსაც ერთად შევისწავლით დღევანდელ გაკვეთილზე.
So first is crutch, and it is a noun, and it is the things that you put under your arms so you can help you walk when you have a broken leg or something wrong with you.
Crutch in Georgian means ყავარჯენი. Crutch, ყავარჯენი, crutch, ყავარჯენი, crutch, ყავარჯენი.
And next we have a thermometer, which is also a noun. And in English, it is the little piece of metal or plastic thing that you put in your mouth to see your temperature.
Definitely. Thermometer in Georgian sounds quite similar. It is thermometry. Thermometer, thermometry, thermometer, thermometry, thermometer, thermometry.
And next we have medicine, which is a noun. And it is something that helps you feel better that usually the doctor gives you. It could be a pill or something else.
Definitely. Medicine in Georgian means tsamali. Medicine, tsamali, medicine, tsamali, medicine, tsamali. Our next word is plaster. Plaster is a noun, and in English it means...
In English, it means when you break your leg and you have to put plaster on your leg or your arm to keep it from moving.
Very true. Plaster in Georgian means sakhwevi an binti. Plaster sakhwevi an binti. Plaster sakhwevi an binti. Plaster sakhwevi an binti.
And next we have inhaler, and it is a noun. And it is something that you breathe into or you inhale from, and it helps you with breathing problems. And it's a kind of medicine.
True. Inhaler in Georgian means inhalatori. Inhaler, inhalatori, inhaler, inhalatori, inhaler, inhalatori. Our next word is stethoscope. Stethoscope is a noun, and in English it means...
In English it means the little device that a doctor or even sometimes a nurse has around their arm, and they use it to listen to your heartbeat.
Or maybe lungs as well.
And lungs as well.
Stethoscope in Georgian means stethoscopy. Stethoscope, stethoscopy, stethoscope, stethoscopy, stethoscope, stethoscopy.
And next we have syringe, which is also a noun. And it is something that you put medicine or a vaccine in, and you put it in your arm usually, and you push in the medicine or vaccine.
Syringe is in Georgian shpritzi. Syringe, shpritzi, syringe, shpritzi, syringe, shpritzi. Our next word is also related to medicine. It's pill. Pill is a noun, and in English it means...
And in English, it is usually a medicine that you take, and it's a little like ball or a little capsule, and you take it with water.
True. Pill in Georgian means abi an tableti. Pill, abi an tableti. Pill, abi an tableti.
So now let's move on to our first vocabulary exercise and match the words with the correct pictures.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ ჩვენს პირველ სავარჯიშოზე. თქვენს წინაშე მოცემულია სიტყვები, ჩვენ მათ ერთად უნდა შევუსაბამოთ მოცემული სურათები. Let's go over the words first. We have inhaler, pills, medicine, stethoscope, crutch, plaster, syringe, and thermometer, right?
Yep.
So our first word is inhaler. So as you said, it is used for the breathing problems,
Exactly.
right? So which picture depicts best the inhaler?
Oh, it should be picture C. It looks like the thing that you use to breathe into.
Absolutely right. And our next word is pills. So pills is some kind of a sort of medicine that you swallow to get better. So we have here two pictures that might be related, but one is the best. So we have A and G. Both of them are related to the medicine, but which one depicts pills?
Oh, it should be A because it looks like it has a different variety or all different varieties of pills.
Definitely. Pills, picture A. Our next word is medicine. So I think here we need picture G, right?
I think so too. I think you're definitely right.
And the next one is stethoscope. Zach, do you remember what we use stethoscope for?
You use it to listen into your heart or your lungs.
True.
So it should be picture H.
Absolutely right. Picture H is the correct answer. And then we have crutch. And that's when you break your leg or you have some serious injury on your legs and you need these to walk.
Yeah,
right?
they're a kind of support.
True. And picture E would be for this one.
Exactly.
E, crutch. And the next we have plaster. And as you said, we use this for some kind of injuries when you need to cover your skin with this. So which picture do you think would best describe?
I think it's picture F.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. And the next we have syringe for different vaccines or a medicine to put into your body. So which word would syringe describe?
It should be B, and a lot of people are scared of these.
Absolutely, yes. And the last one, quite obvious, it's thermometer to measure your temperature, right? When you're sick, when you have a flu or a cold or, I don't know, other diseases. So the picture D should describe this the best.
Exactly, great. And now we have our second set of vocabulary words.
ახლა კი შევისწავლოთ შემდეგი სიტყვები.
So our first word is cough, and it's a noun, and it's usually you do it when you have something in your throat, when you go
Exactly. Cough is a noun, and in Georgian it means ხველა. Cough, ხველა, cough, ხველა, cough, ხველა.
And next is sore throat, and it's a noun, and in your neck you have your throat, and it's when your neck or when your throat hurts and it's sore or there's some kind of irritation.
And it might be accompanied by coughing, right?
Oh, exactly, right.
Sore throat in Georgian means ყელისტკივილი. Sore throat, ყელისტკივილი. Sore throat, ყელისტკივილი. Sore throat, ყელისტკივილი.
And next we have stomachache, and it is a noun, and it is when your stomach hurts from maybe eating bad food or you have a different problem.
And we probably also should say that aches are generally related to pain. So I can say, for example, a headache or toothache or stomachache, right? And a stomachache in Georgian means მუცლისტკივილი. Stomachache, მუცლისტკივილი. Stomachache, მუცლისტკივილი. Stomachache, მუცლისტკივილი.
And next we have flu, which is a noun, and it is when you get a very bad illness or a bug or something like that makes you very, very sick.
Flu is grippy. Flu, grippy. Flu, grippy. Flu, grippy.
And next is rash, which is a noun, And it is when you have a piece of your body that is irritated, usually the skin, and it starts to turn a different color.
Rash in Georgian means gamunaqari. Rash, gamunaqari. Rash, gamunaqari. Rash, gamunaqari. Our next word is poisoning. Poisoning is a noun, and in English it means...
And in English it means, especially if you have bad food or old food, then it can poison you and make you feel super sick, or if you eat something that you probably shouldn't be eating in general.
Yes, poisoning in Georgian means motamla. Poisoning, motamla. Poisoning, motamla. Poisoning, motamla.
And next we have cancer, which is a noun, and it is when a group of cells in the body start growing in an uncontrollable way and causes great harm to your body.
Cancer in Georgian means kibo. Cancer, kibo, cancer, kibo, cancer, kibo.
And next is heart attack, and it is a noun, and it is when you have a huge amount of pain in your chest and your heart stops working.
Heart attack in Georgian means gulis sheteva. Heart attack, gulis sheteva. Heart attack, gulis sheteva. Heart attack, gulis sheteva.
And lastly, we have ointment, and it is a noun, and it is usually a kind of medicine that's in a cream form, and you put it on like a rash or a piece of your body that hurts.
Ointment in Georgian means malamo. Ointment, malamo, ointment, malamo, ointment, malamo. So Zach, what type of treatment would you recommend to a person who has a flu?
Oh, and usually flu is a little nasty. So I think you should drink a lot of water.
True.
And maybe if you have it bad enough, you go to the doctor and they give you some kind of medicine. And you should stay perfectly rested. Don't get up and move too much. Drink plenty of fluids.
True, yeah. Honey and vitamin C.
Really, yeah.
Exactly,
Oh,
yeah.
very good.
A lemon and a lot of citrusy food would also help.
Oh, fantastic. Now let's move on to our reading comprehension.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ წაკითხulis გააზრებაზე. Dear Dr. Amy, I am worried about my 10-year-old daughter. I've noticed that she's coughing a lot, especially after she's been playing in the garden. She has always been very healthy and loves playing sports. So I'm concerned that this will affect her quite badly. Do you think it's serious, and can you give us some advice? Thank you, Mrs. Dawson.
So, dear Dr. Amy, I broke my arm in an accident while I was ice skating and had the plaster removed a couple of days ago. Now there's quite a bad rash. The hospital told me to expect a bit of a rash and gave me some ointment for it. But it isn't helping, and my skin is really red and swollen. I don't want to go back to the hospital unnecessarily. They'll think I'm just making a fuss and wasting their time, but I am a bit concerned about it. Do you have any advice? Francis DeWitt.
Dear Dr. Amy, my husband has just got a new job working overseas, so we are moving in a few weeks' time. The problem is that I need lots of injections, but I'm scared of syringes. I've been terrified of them ever since I was a child, and even though I am now grown up, my fear has not disappeared. Is there any alternative to syringes? That would help me a lot. Samantha.
So now let's go on to our reading comprehension. So answer the questions based on the text.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ წაკითხulis გააზრებაზე. უპასუხეთ მოცემულ კითხვებს ტექსტზე დაყრდნობით.
So, number 1, who has already been to the hospital?
So, our very first question is, who has already been to the hospital? And I think that when we read the text, it was Francis DeWitt, right? So, as she said, the hospital told her to expect a bit of a rash and gave her some ointment, but she's still worried about it.
Exactly right. And then number 2, who is writing about a problem that somebody or that someone else is having?
I think it was Mrs. Dawson. She had a problem about her 10-year-old child, right, coughing when she used to play in the garden.
Yes. And the next question, who wants to find a different solution than the one they are facing?
I think it's Samantha. She was scared of syringes and she wanted to find some other kind of a medication to treat herself, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And the last one here, whose problem is the result of another accident or illness?
Oh, I remember it was Francis DeWitt because he broke his arm while ice skating and he had plaster removed a couple of days ago.
True.
So now let's move on to the grammar section and we will discuss present perfect versus past simple.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ გრამატიკის ნაწილზე. გრამატიკაში ჩვენ შევისწავლით განსხვავებას აწმყო სრულსა და წარსულ მარტივ დროებს შორის.
So, we use past simple for an action which happened at a definite time in the past. The time is stated, already known, or implied. Present perfect, on the other hand, is used for an action which happened at an unstated time in the past, when the exact time is neither mentioned or implied. For example, my son has had an injury. My son had an injury yesterday.
ჩვენ გამოვიყენებთ წარსულ მარტივ დროს, როდესაც მოქმედება დასრულდა განსაზღვრულ დროს წარსულში. დრო განსაზღვრულია, ცნობილია ან ნაგულისხმებია. ჩვენ გამოვიყენებთ აწმყო სრულ დროს, როდესაც მოქმედება მოხდა განუსაზღვრელ დროს წარსულში, როდესაც ზუსტი დრო არ არის ცნობილი ან ნაგულისხმები.
We use past simple for an action which began and finished in the past. Present perfect, on the other hand, is used for an action which started in the past and continues up to the present. For example, I have worked as a doctor for 10 years, and I worked as a doctor for 10 years.
ჩვენ გამოვიყენებთ წარსულ მარტივ დროს ისეთი მოქმედებების აღსანიშნავად, რომლებიც დასრულდა წარსულ დროში. ხოლო აწმყო სრულ დროს ისეთი მოქმედებების აღსანიშნავად, რომლებიც დაიწყო წარსულ დროში, მაგრამ ახლაც გრძელდება. მაგალითად, წინადადებები. I have worked as a doctor for 10 years. ანუ მე ვიმუშავე ექიმად 10 წელი and I worked as a doctor for 10 years. ამ ორ წინადადებას შორის განსხვავება ის არის, რომ პირველი უჩვენებს მოქმედებას, რომელიც დაიწყო წარსულ დროში და ახლაც გრძელდება, ანუ ეს პიროვნება ახლაც ექიმად მუშაობს, ხოლო მეორე წინადადება კი უჩვენებს ისეთ მოქმედებას, რომელიც დაიწყო წარსულ დროში და დამთავრდა წარსულ დროში. ანუ ამ პიროვნებამ უბრალოდ იმუშავა 10 წელი ექიმად, მაგრამ ახლა ექიმად აღარ მუშაობს.
So now let's move on to our grammar exercise and put the verbs in brackets into the past simple or present perfect.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ გრამატიკის პირველ სავარჯიშოზე. ამ სავარჯიშოსთვის ჩვენ უნდა ჩავსვათ მოცემული ზმნები წარსულ მარტივ ან აწმყო სრულ დროში.
So number 1, I blanked this man for about 15 years. So you must use the verb know.
So we need to decide here, we need past simple or present perfect. So I think that because we have for about 15 years, which shows the period of time, and we also know with the word for, we always have present perfect. The verb should be put in a present perfect tense. Thus we have, I have known this man for 15 years.
And number 2, I blank a lot of people last week at a birthday party, and we have to use the verb to meet.
So for this one, we need to put the verb meet into the past simple, and we'll have I met a lot of people last week at a birthday party because the time is indicated when this person met a lot of people. It was last week. So remember, every time you have time indicated when the action has finished, you usually use past simple.
And next we have where blank last summer. So we have the verb to go.
And here as well, because we are asking a question about an action that has finished in the past, we use past simple. Where did you go last summer? And as you remember, we form a past simple with the auxiliary verb do in the past tense, thus did. Where did you go last summer?
And she blank up smoking 2 years ago. So we use the verb to give.
Again, I hope you remember very well that because we have here time indicated when the action has finished, 2 years ago, we need to use past simple. She gave up smoking 2 years ago.
Awesome. And now, how much money blank so far? And we use the verb to win.
Here, because we are referring to the action which started in the past and still continues so far, we need to use present perfect. And the sentence would be, how much money have you won so far?
So now let's move on to the summary.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ გაკვეთილი შეჯამებაზე.
So for our vocabulary section, we had many words based on health problems. And so, Sophie, do you remember any of the words that we discussed today?
Yeah, definitely. We had a heart attack, we had a cancer, we had a cough, flu, we had rash poisoning that was related to food poisoning, and some of the treatments like ointment, we had syringe, as I remember.
We had crutches.
Yeah, definitely. We had crutches and some other vocabulary items.
Exactly.
True.
And then we went right along to the reading comprehension where we had some letters or emails sent to a doctor.
Yes.
Asking about what they should do about certain health problems.
Definitely true. And after that, we talked about the differences between the past simple and the present perfect tenses, right?
Yeah, totally right.
And now it's time to move to everyone's favorite,
the homework.
the homework.
And for this homework, I want you to create your own letter and send in, and for your homework, we want you to write a short letter to a doctor and ask for advice.
საშინაო დავალებად გთხოვთ მისწერეთ ექიმს და სთხოვეთ რჩევა.
And please send your homework to the address on the screen. And also remember that we have the example for the homework on the website.
გთხოვთ გამოაგზავნეთ თქვენი დავალება ეკრანზე მოცემულ მისამართზე, იქ დაგხვდებათ დავალების ნიმუში, რომელიც შეგიძლიათ გამოიყენოთ. I think we should say goodbye.
I think so, sadly.
Right. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.